very warm welcome to you all. At least it's not raining, eh? And thanks for being here to celebrate this very special occasion of Hayley and Dan's wedding. Our thoughts go out to those that couldn't be here, and we wish them well. Now that Dan is officially family, I'd like to offer a welcome to his family into ours, and to thank Brian and Debbie for all the help and assistance that they've given towards this day. Thanks also to Liz putting on a wonderful meal. Yeah. It was especially nice. I think we'll give them a round of applause, please. Other thanks to Katie and George for pitching in and doing all the extra work that we've asked them to do, and to do it without falling out. And that's not said lightly. Special thanks to Suzette and Robin for what they've done and supplied for all the bits and pieces outside. It's great stuff, thank you very much. Nobody else has helped, who I've forgotten, so apologies for that. But my special thanks, especially to my wonderful, beautiful wife. Who hasn't stopped sewing, printing, stapling, folding, ironing for about a year. So well done. And but more than that, it's for being my wife for 31 years. Moving on to Hayley, our lovely daughter. Hayley Melissa. I don't really know how we come up with those names, but the Hayley bit, we thought Hayley has changed the spelling a bit just to make it a bit more special. Hayley appeared on a hot week in May, a few years ago, and we thought she was going to be easy, like Katie. Everything's changed. But we were very, very wrong. She was, to put it lightly, awful as a baby. She cried and cried and cried, and even when she woke up the day, she cried. But eventually she did sleep, and to help her sleep, she had this little thing here. It's just about still alive.
Oh my God.
I'm not sure what you called it, Hayley, but Ted. Auntie Sue bought it from mine then. Well, that was fate, wasn't it? Yeah, I got something else in my head. Well, you can't compare the two, can you? Anyway, Hayley grew up to be a joyous, happy little girl who was quite mischievous and quite determined. Off she went to Oak School, where she settled in quite well, and had lots of friends, and birthday parties were quite large. One party, I remember when it was raining, we had to bring the bouncy castle indoors into the lounge upon insistence from Hayley. I want my bouncy castle. School photos at the time were a bit, well, she didn't have any teeth, most of them. She used to knock them out on the school bars because she used to get fed up with them being loose. These are just enduring images I've got of her growing up, so bear with me. I think Hayley would agree that she's growing up, she was a bit of a tomboy. And when she got to the sort of age where we could let her go on her own, she used to go off with George and get into all sorts of mischief. Going into the river hedges, building fires and that sort of thing, and building bale dens in the hay shed where Grandad used to fall into. And getting into the combine and letting the fire extinguisher off, which I don't think Grandad ever realised who was the culprit, but I expect he had suspicions. And also there was the occasion when there was some building work going on. Somebody had drew, you know those sort of detective films, and you draw the body on the floor. So they went down and actually drew a pair of boobs on them. and then after that, there were some people who'd come to buy the house and they took it in view of it, I think. Farm walks were quite a favourite with them. One day we walked down across the fields to the river, and went across the little bridge. Me being Dad is not very attentive, I suppose. Went across the little bridge, and she was there swinging on this branch. Actually, I've gone ahead of myself. She had just had an operation for adenoids and had grommets in her ears, so she shouldn't get them wet. So she ended up swinging on this branch and crack.
Hang on, you jumped on the root of it.
Are you? Probably right. And then she went splosh right in it, right over her head. So I pulled her out, and she wasn't worried at all, but I was, because I was going to get it in the neck from Mum. But everything was all right. Had a few holidays, not too many, but the most enjoyable, I think, from Hayley's point of view and ours, was when we went to France. Sort of memorable photographs were her favourite fruit, eating a massive piece of melon, all suntanned and smiling away. Well, that's an enduring image of you, Hayley. And also when you got in a strop on the beach and stomped off into the distance in a right strop. So beware, Dan. She's capable. Also in France, we found out exactly what Hayley's voice was going to be like, because we were in a campsite and she went off riding her bike. The other side of the campsite, she fell off, bloody miles away, but you could hear her yelling. I think she developed her perfect school voice on that day, didn't you? Lady Mead following Katie into Lady Mead was a bit of a challenge, because sort of set up a reputation which she couldn't really live up to. So, but they were prepared. At that stage, I think she wanted to be a teacher, and we thought, yeah, lovely, but will she? But she did. Done her GCSEs. She was, I know, I've not been unfair, but she was you're not the superb student, but you worked really, really hard, which is, I think, more of a credit to you, Hayley. Well done. And then she did her A-levels and went off to, hang on, next page. Went off to Cardiff Uni, which did a degree, and then to Oxford Brookes. It wasn't all plain sailing, because many times we had tears on the phone, and to Mum, obviously not me. It's like pass her over to Mum. But she got through that. Her determination carried her through. On one occasion, she nearly got poisoned by a dodgy boiler, wasn't it, Hayley? Ended up in hospital. Carbon monoxide poisoning. Got over that. And persevered and got your degree and became a teacher. First year at Danesfield, now she's at Oak Cleeve, so you did very well. And we're so proud of you, what you achieved, and we probably never really told you so to your face, but we are, of what you've achieved, and reaching your goals, and also that you're excelling in what you're doing. Very proud. I imagine lots of dads of their daughters sort of try and visualise or see what it feels like to be in this situation. Weddings are going to happen, probably, and but I don't know. You need a year in advance. You just don't get too excited. But over the last few days, when you see things happening and people getting dressed in the mornings and that, it's fantastic. And you look stunning this morning, Hayley. I can find my page. Sorry. And you look so beautiful. Well, I don't know. I lost for words, Hayley. Lost for words. When Hayley started her first year at Danesfield, she came home one day and said, I think probably the mum, not me again, interested in this chap at school. Well, not bloody hell. any work romances. I'm not sure how this is going to work out. And then she brought him home. His name was Dan. Or Daniel, as his family likes to refer to him. I apologise to all the Hows for calling him Dan, but it stuck really. He seemed alright, nice chap. At least he had a job. Dan stayed on the scene. But we got to know him a bit better. And one day, I think it's a Saturday, I said, Dan, do you want to watch rugby? Disappointment, I can't tell you. He knows bugger all about bloody rugby. Oh God, gutted. Apparently he plays with this orange ball with a net.
American.
It's a good. I thought about it. I thought to myself, well, seeing as he's got his basketball team here today, more or less. If he had played rugby, it'd have been bloody expensive, wouldn't it? With 15 players. I don't think I would have. Yeah, I've got to look on the bright side all the time, haven't I, really? Time went by, Dan and Hayley got on really well. Dan was a very polite, helpful, brilliant bloke. I can't say any more than that. Well, I could, but I'd be here all day. Most of all, I could see he loved Hayley, and Hayley loved Dan as well, so you couldn't ask for more than that. And then they moved in together, so they thought I'd give it a try. Rented the barn down the road and got a cat, got a dog. See how it goes. Pepper and Molly. Well, it went on fine, I think, didn't it? Yeah. So fine, in fact, that Dan said he wanted a chat. Oh, bloody hell. So Dan turns up, whiter than me. More nervous than me, I think. Well, maybe not. And actually asked us if he could marry Hayley. Which I think, really, to his, he's got a lot of respect for us, and he loves Hayley to want to do that. And he came out and asked her, "What could you say?" So he said no. Yeah. So he went off. They went on holiday to Tenerife. They did the. He'll elaborate later on. Went to Tenerife and got engaged on Saturday. And then, we started planning the wedding 12 months ago, wasn't it? Then the last few weeks, I thought about registering Dan to go in the Guinness Book of Records. No, it's not the shiniest car in Copford, not the most expensive wheels. It's for 5 stag do's. Now that's got to be a record, isn't it? Dan, you're a fantastic bloke. I couldn't wish for a better son-in-law than you. And you're a credit to yourself and your family. Well done. And we're very proud and excited that you are now our son-in-law. Now you're married, I'll just probably give you a bit of advice. This is serious. Obviously, marriage is about love. But I think most importantly is a sort of a mutual admiration and respect. Trust and compromises are involved in a successful marriage. I think if you have a marriage like ours, you're not going to go too far wrong. Hayley, now you're starting a new life with Dan. Don't forget that we love you dearly, and we're always here for you if you need us. Right, I think that's enough from me. I'd like to propose a toast now. If you get your glasses, please, and become upstanding. To the happy couple.
Okay, so mine basically starts with I want to give Paul another round of applause. That was an amazing speech, Paul. Thanks very much. Okay, and it starts with you, Paul, actually. I can't really say enough good things about Paul. The lovely venue where we're in and the setting we're in here today is massively down to him. Every day, me and Hayley drop our dog Pippa off on our way to work, and I've been noticing a few things spring up, actually. There's a gravelled driveway out of nowhere, a new lawn, a new lounge, converted lounge, which was a garage, a new patio, a pet peacock. I don't know if anyone's seen the peacock walking around. A new entrance to the front door, a rose garden, and then finally that bridge out of nowhere just turned up, new bridge. But really, I couldn't really help but notice that all kind of happened after I proposed. There was not much work going on before that. So on behalf of myself and me and Hayley, I'd just like to say, you're welcome, Paul. All jokes aside though, Paul, you've been brilliant, and seriously, thanks for everything you've done. I just want to raise our glasses to Paul.
Me.
Just to you on your own.
He's got even bigger bit of paper than me.
Okay, Helen. So first of all, thanks for accepting me into the family. I've been around for about 4 years now, but I still can't quite predict your sense of humour. I'm never really quite sure whether you're just winding me up or being serious with me. It may be down to the fact that one of the first impressions you ever had of me was at the bottom of your stairs, being sick in a wicker bin. It was a night out at Rally's Cross after a school do. But you've given me some great memories. One of the best memories by far, though, has to be the table incident at the barn. It was a barbecue at the barn. One of those summer barbecues, everyone's outside. We've got a really low table, about a knee-height table. All of our drinks are on it. And Helen, for some reason, thinks... And cakes, and homemade cake. And Helen thinks, well, I'll just move that table slightly forward. So she bends down, picks up the table, does quite well, but then she starts to tumble. And it's one of those moments where she's tumbling for a long time. You pretty much smashed everything in your path, ruined all the cakes, cut your leg on the way down. At that moment, I'm up out of the camping chair, down to your aid. Helen, you all right, being the nice guy, trying to be like the fiancé type. And I look up at that moment, and 1, 2, 3, George, Hayley, Paul, all... Katie wasn't there. She would have been the same though. All pointing, laughing, falling off their own chairs. And it's kind of at that moment I realised, well, that's the type of family I'm signing up for. But again, jokes aside, Helen, you've been amazing. You've been there for us for everything. We've got a little gift for you. We've got some flowers, so just raise our glasses to Helen. She's been brilliant. Big round of applause for Helen, everyone.
Oh, wow. Goodness me. What flowers to hide?
Okay, moving on. 2 people in my life, Mum and Dad, special people. You've pretty much shaped me into the person I am today, and I'm thankful for everything you have done for me over the years. You've supported me through the good and the bad. But when I was writing this speech, Mum, I was kind of thinking, I wonder if there's anything that's kind of given Mum any sleepless nights or a lot of worry or anything like that. I thought to myself, well, let's go through a few lists. So I'm pretty sensible on the roads in my car. Always bought sensible cars in terms of like good miles to the gallon, cheap, sensible. Clean bill of health. Limited hospital visits really over my life. Smart with my money, Dad. One of those excellent credit ratings. And I haven't done anything like go to New York, Vegas and Tenerife on lads drinking holiday with Rico and Best Ben and other people like that. And I've certainly, thanks Gareth, never done anything like chopped up my granddad's vintage furniture with an axe. That was David! Hey! But Dad, you've been such a role model to me. I'm sorry I didn't walk in your footsteps as a musical god. Although you did make an effort to buy me a new instrument every Christmas for about 10 years. Tambourines, guitars, amps, drums. But every year I just picked up some rubber thing and started throwing it through a hoop. So, sorry about that. One of my fondest memories I have of both of you was driving down to Cornwall St Ives after I'd made the Division 1 Basel team. And you waited up till like 2 in the morning for me, which was quite nice. And Mum did. Mum came and met me in the car park. And obviously when I graduated as a teacher, you turned up and I could see how proud of me you were. Dan Howe as a teacher, who would have thought it? But yeah, I'm the luckiest guy on earth to have you as parents. And now I get to share you with Hayley, which is great. Dad, you haven't got a gift, but Mum has. Flowers, Rico. Well, yeah, we've already given you, yeah. Okay, round of applause for Mum and Dad. Okay, groomsmen, you're kind of a bit scattered about, but you're my closest mates, and I can't imagine sharing a day with anybody but you lot. I've been lucky enough to have 4 stag do's. First one was kind of one of those cultural sightseeing visits around Tenerife. Go-karting, water sports, evening meals out, early nights, that type of thing. Secondly, was a night out in Bristol. Lucky I was there really because George had a bit of an incident in his room and I saved his life from a fire. So that's okay, George. I was there. Thirdly, a night out in Watch It with the dads. The dads came to watch it. Ended up with the father of the bride getting booted under the table because he was saying inappropriate comments about people from my school. But you can ask him later about that. And then lastly, it was a kind of full court basketball game where we had planned to fill the water bottles with vodka and see how long we could play for. But a kind of competitive edge took over and we ended up just like playing a playoff final.
What happened to the London one?
Oh, London one.
No, that's not a real stag do. Okay. But there was that moment in the end of the game when I'm kind of bad back, hobbling around on one leg, and my best man said to me, Howie, is it okay if I sub myself into the game? And my line basically was, yeah, it's okay if you come in, mate, but just don't come in for anybody but me. Cheers, Rico. A few little shout outs, Rico. We've been on some awesome holidays and had some battles on the basketball court. You've been like a brother to me for about 10 years. But all I've got to say to you is keep practicing. You've got years left in you yet. Watson, Jamie Watson, other best man. Best mate from school. He even found me on a playground and befriended me, and I was wearing a leather jacket and I thought I was like the guy off Top Gun, and this guy still hung out with me, so best mate. Dave Stark, the Stark boys. Tom's not here today, but Dave Stark over there, he's been in my life for ages. Amazing mates. We've lost touch for a few years, but he's always been there for me. I still want that Kirby rematch, Dave. And just try not to break my nose when we play next time, please. Wes over there, the one that's sweating constantly. You've been great over the last few days, mate, with all the marquee and everything, and I appreciate you coming down. Travelled a long way. He's been a great mate to me over the years. Sean? Are you Sean? He's over there as well. Sean, I just remember you as being the fastest person to undress ever. At a house party kind of 5 or 6 years ago, there was a shout about a threesome, and I looked around. This girl was only joking, by the way, but I looked around and he was already down to his boxers. So just like one of those moments of that film. What's that film? Bruce Almighty, when he just goes, yeah, it's like that. Bolty, James, the two big men over there, James and Bolty. I know I don't pass to you very much on the basketball court, but I hope I could be there for you later in life, and apologies for not being able to make Bolty's wedding, which is in a couple of weeks' time. Sam Armitage, you've been a great friend to me for the last kind of year or so, and thanks for doing some fitness sessions after school to help me fit in this waistcoat. Appreciate that. And Steve Wild, wherever you are, Steve. Pretty much the reason I'm working as a teacher. Great work colleague, been there for me, bit of advice. But I appreciate it if you just shut up nowadays because you just keep talking. It's okay, we'll just raise our glasses to my groomsmen and all my mates, thank you. Later that night, I briefly remember an incident that involved me throwing a table umbrella across Mambo's. Basically, I couldn't see the person I was trying to talk to across the room, so I just launched this table umbrella. Now, George's best mate at the time took offence to it, and there was a little bit of a problem. At the time. Katie, being Katie, loves to get involved in a situation. Face to face with me straight away. And she kind of uttered a line to me that I've kind of never really forgotten, and I don't think I ever will forget. Firstly, she started by making some rude comments about my baggy shorts and fisherman's jumper I was wearing, which at the time I thought was fashionable.
Why were you in Mambo's wearing that?
And she said, quite aggressively to my face, do you know if you weren't so pretty, I would knock you clean out? So it was kind of like that moment where you're like, well, that's a compliment, but I'm also kind of quietly shitting myself. All jokes aside, though, you look beautiful, Katie, and I'm lucky to have you. I'm lucky to have another sister in my life. Thanks for being there for me and Hayley. You've been amazing. Let's all raise our glasses to Katie. Okay, bridesmaids, I know Katie's got a few words to say, but I just wanted to get some in quickly. You've been amazing bridesmaids, and I think we can all agree they all look beautiful today, bridesmaids. You've been there for Hayley through the whole thing. Your WhatsApp group has kept her really busy, which is great for me. She's just on their phone constantly. And the Thursday club has been brilliant to kind of watch Beth finishing off trifles all by herself. It's been great to come on a Thursday night and see that. But a big thank you has to go to Nicola for helping me choose the engagement ring. A few text messages at the time to say, and she gave me some great advice. But all the bridesmaids, brilliant, and thank you very much. So, to the bridesmaids. Okay, my new bride. Well, first off, I remember the first night I tried to propose to you. We were on the holiday that Paul was talking about in Tenerife. It was our first night out in Tenerife, and I'd been there before. So I thought, why not just kind of take her for a walk around Tenerife in the sunset, around the headlands, and just maybe see if there's a great time to propose and just see what happens. Now, if anybody knows Hayley well, they'll know it's important to keep her well fed. And it had been a while since I had fed her. And she was starting to become hangry, Hayley. Questions like, are we there yet? I'm getting shaky. I need something to eat. Are you sure you've even been here before? Do you even know where you're going? I was starting to panic at this time, ring in pocket. Maybe I could feed her and I'll propose afterwards, something like that. So we ducked into a shopping mall, but Hayley was off at this point, 10 metres in front of me, one of those moments where you fall out with your missus and she's walking ahead of you, and I'm just trailing behind and guys are just nodding at me and I'm going, yeah. But we got to this escalator in this shopping mall, and there were some Chinese tourists taking photos, enjoying their holiday. She just barged through the lot of them. pretty much nearly pushed this one poor Chinese guy down the escalator. And uttered something under her breath, but it's not that great for a teacher to be saying those sorts of things, so I won't say that. A slice of pizza and a Coke later, I started to think this probably isn't the best night for this, so let's just knock it on the head. The actual proposal went fairly smoothly. While she was sunbathing, I popped to the shop and loaded up on a bottle of Moe, 2 glasses and some bags of ice. I got back to the hotel room and we were getting ready for our evening meal, and I needed a way to get out of the hotel room to go and plant this Moe in a special place. So I kind of faked a tummy bug and said, I can't really go to the toilet in the hotel room, I better go to the gym toilet or something to get away from her. So I whipped on my trainers, I started running with a backpack with the Moe glasses and the ice in the backpack. I ran right up to this cliff top, hid it in some rocks, and ran straight back as fast as I could. So I knocked on the bedroom door, and she opened the door, and I was red-faced, sweating, after which she thought I'd only been on a bathroom break, and she kind of said, oh baby, you've really got an upset stomach, maybe we should just stay in. But I persuaded her to go out for an evening meal, and we had a nice dinner, and then I nipped off during the dessert just to get the ring from the bedroom. We then ended up at the top of the cliff top. I whipped out the bag from these rocks. I think she thought it was a bomb at the time, because it was just this weird bag under a rock. I think I got more emotional than you at the time, but we got through it, and obviously she said yes, which is lovely. I got to know Hayley pretty well on a school residential trip, mainly because the other 2 teachers were boring as hell. So, but I must have made a good impression on her, because on the flight home she was looking through all the children's tickets, all the flight numbers and seat numbers, and she was trying to find the flight number and seat number next to mine so she could sit next to me, and then some poor 11-year-old girl ended up sitting with these complete strangers on the aeroplane. It is true. But she, on the way home, a bit soppy, but she fell asleep on my shoulder, and it was at that moment I thought, I'm going to do everything I can to be with her. 4 years later, here we are. You're looking beautiful, lovely, you're thoughtful, you bring out the best in me, you're everything I ever will need. So let's raise our glasses to what I think sounds like a superhero name, Hayley Howe.
Obviously I'm Katie, I'm Hayley's sister and the maid of honour. Firstly, I would just like to thank the bridesmaids for all of their help on the wedding day itself and running up to the big day. All of the bridesmaids have been truly amazing and so supportive to my sister and to me as well. Obviously let's not spend any time talking about organising the hen do. That was a shambles. It was good though, we had a good time. Gym festival. All I can say is that Hayley's blessed to have such good friends. You've all been amazing, honestly, and you look so beautiful today. I was tempted to stand up today and tell hilarious stories and jokes about Hayley and Dan. There's plenty. But I only have one thing to say, which may come as a huge surprise to you all, seeing as you can't normally shut me up once I get going. Daniel, I couldn't have picked a better partner, soulmate and husband for my sister. Not just today on your wedding day, but for every other day of your lives. We can all see the love for you both here today from the people around you who've shared this amazing day with you too. They say it takes a village to raise a child, but I think that is also true of a marriage. Although we all wish you a perfect life together, we know there will be some times of trouble and strife for you both, but you'll weather the storm and come out the other side together stronger, because you have the love and support of each other and all of the people around you that are here to help you celebrate your wedding day today. I know that Hayley is taking your last name, but I don't consider that I'm losing a sister, rather that I'm gaining a brother. Hayley, you look even more beautiful than usual today. Thank you. You've tried. Well done. It's not yoga pants today. Thank you for asking me to be part of your special day, and I feel honoured and a little bit surprised, if I'm honest, that you trusted me with all this. Now, can I please ask everyone to stand and raise the glass? To Mr. and Mrs. Howe.
Clap.
Before we get going, I just want to hear a hand for the other speech makers. Some really, really nice stuff said. Lots of nice stuff said about this Dan character. All I can say is I'd like to meet him. I probably won't introduce him to my other mate Howie. They probably wouldn't get along. I think he's soft. But for those who don't know me, I'm Jamie. One half of the Best Man team, the other half being Rico over there. It was decided pretty early in the Best Man actions that Rico would take the stag do and I would take the speech. Largely because Rico's a liability in front of a crowd and I'm a liability with a drink. So it worked quite well. And the fact we even got here at all is a miracle, given that the third member of the team's Howie. And he's an all-round liability. So we did quite well to get here. So I've known Howie for just over 20 years now, having met him through our mutual love of basketball. He had very big dreams of playing professionally one day, and I had big dreams that one day he might pass me the ball. And having played on the third or fourth or fifth, depending on what you're counting, stag do a couple of weeks ago, I can say that's very much still the case. And I can't put enough focus on the fact that that was the final stag do. It's been awful over the past 6 months. I looked pretty good 6 months ago, and now you got this. So, cheers. So I've lived away for the past 12 to 13 years, and the guy that I knew back then was not the same stable, career-focused family man that you see today. So in preparation for this speech, I thought I'd have a think about some early indicators that might have led Dan to become such a teacher. So I did what everyone else would do at this point, and I googled a few of the key qualities that make a good teacher, and I thought I'd see if I can match them up to any of the historical moments from when I've known Howie over the years. Number 1, a great teacher enjoys great responsibility. Howie was always the designated driver back in the day, and seemed to enjoy the responsibilities of driving us up Minehead Town, back down Minehead Town, back up Minehead Town, back down Minehead Town, back up Minehead. We had nowhere to go. We were doing laps. And he always made sure we could hit the music okay. He inserted more speakers in the car than we had miles on the clock. And he did always know what to say in a crisis. So there's a few occasions we've had some sketchy moments. We span off the road on the way back from training from Taunton one night. We rolled down the hill sideways at the scuffle. Both of which, Howie looked at me very swiftly and said, well, that was lucky. I hope he hasn't been given the keys to the minibus yet. Number 2, a great teacher sets high expectations for all students. Now maybe I can buy into this one a little bit. He's a very competitive guy. And without Howie's encouragement, we would never have thought it was possible to row to Wales in Megan's dinghy. Chin would have never thought it was possible to drink 2 litres of cold turkey gravy on the seafront. And he himself would have never thought anybody on this planet would give him a £5 to hang off the floodlights at the wreck. This being said, us and the dinghy got called in by the Coast Guards about 40 minutes off Minehead Beach.
Because you lost your oar.
That's how he lost his oar. Chin made it 2 sips into the turkey gravy before looking very queasy and being quite angry about the whole situation. And I'm not sure if Howie ever saw that £5. The third one I found was a great teacher looks after the mental and physical well-being of all their students. So aside from the fear of cars, seawater and gravy that Howie instilled in us from a young age, Maybe I misread Howie making a young Megan Howe wear a bicycle helmet around the house for tasks such as watching TV, eating snacks, and generally walking about the house on the basis he thought she was too stupid not to. But that might have just been early signs that he was going to be a good teacher. So in summary, none of us saw this coming, but we're pretty proud of him nonetheless. This all being said, one thing we've never doubted is Howie's relationship with Hayley. I think we can all see today, from day one of marriage, they've got the thing cracked. Hayley's got on board with the fact that Howie and I come as a package deal. After some initial friction, Pippa and I have decided to get along for the sake of the family. And to finish up, I speak on behalf of myself, Rico, the other best man, and all the lads that Howard talked about earlier, saying that it's a privilege to be part of your day, part of your lives moving forward. I love you both, and I think that it's been pretty special what you put on today. So, on that note, I'd like to raise one final glass to the bride and groom, Daniel and Hayley Howe. That's it.